let me give you some adjectives to describe this group. And then I will let you try to figure out which group it is. This group is a small minority of the population. They go protest. They think every single individual who is not in their circle is evil, is bad, is wrong, and needs to have their views condemned. They scream in people's faces who they disagree with. They're very obnoxious. Who is this group? Well, you could actually use these adjectives and these descriptions to describe multiple groups. The first group is the Westboro Baptist Church. They represent a small minority of the population. They have about 70 members. They protest. They think everyone not in their cult is going to hell. They brainwash people. They think America is evil. Or you could describe the modern social justice woke sector of the Democratic Party. Think about this. This is how delusional you have to be. Not every, but 99.999% of people in history are racist, sexist, homophobic. George Washington's bad. Thomas Jefferson's bad. The Roman Empire's bad. 99.9% of people who walk the earth to this day and in the past are racist, sexist, homophobic, evil, but you're good. It is up to you and your small clique of individuals to fight for the true justice of society. These institutions are evil. They were built upon racism, sexism, transphobia, homophobia. It's your job to point all that out and to change it because you're good. Think about how delusional that is. They are just like the Westboro Baptist Church, even though both those groups would hate each other. They protest. They verbally attack anyone who disagrees with them. They think every single person is evil and is fighting for a bad cause if they don't agree with them. They are intolerant of different opinions. They protest, they hold signs, they yell, they scream, they cry. It's universally accepted that the Westboro Baptist Church is full of lunatics. I think everyone sort of accepts that. However, wokeism is a cult. The crazy thing about it, though, is in traditional religions like Christianity, Islam, it is universally accepted that people are not perfect. In Christianity, you are a sinful person. You need to be saved. Even though you're saved, you're still going to sin. When you sin, you ask for forgiveness. But in wokeism, if you make one little mistake, you should be canceled. You should be destroyed financially. You shouldn't be able to get a job. Imagine if everything you've ever said, everything you've ever done was secretly recorded. The context was not specified and it was selectively edited and then broadcast to a large audience. I'm sure there's something in your life that you've said that would be perceived as racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. If you're going to make the claim that, if somebody says something that is secretly recorded, then it is broadcast to the public, they need to be canceled, then you yourself are not going to be able to live up to those standards. Let me give you 2 examples. Example number 1 is more of a personal example. Example number 2 is a public figure that unfortunately we all know in America. Example number 1, when country singer Morgan Wallen, I had no idea who this dude was. I'm not very into country music. It's not my thing. Each to their own. when he was caught saying the N-word, I know somebody, and this video is like over an hour long as far as I know. I didn't watch the whole video, but they took that one part out and then they added it to social media. Then people were enraged, whatever. This one individual who I know, he's a white guy, on multiple occasions has said the N-word. And he's also said things like, I don't want to date black women. They're unattractive, which is fine. I'm not even mad he said it. But then he goes on social media and says, F him, he should be canceled for saying the N-word. It's like, dude, I could have recorded you saying the N-word multiple times. I could have added it to social media. And then I could have had you canceled. It's like whenever the woman is an adulterer, people want to stone her to death. Jesus says something to the extent of, who has not, for you have not sinned, throw the first stone. We want to cast stones at all these people. But yet we ourselves cannot live up to those same standards that we expect other people to live by. Another example, Jimmy Kimmel, the woke, virtuous guy. I guess he's a comedian. I don't know. He's not really funny. I never really thought the dude was funny, not even 10 years ago before he became woke. Just not a very funny guy. Jimmy Kimmel wore blackface. He dressed up like basketball legend Karl Malone. He also, years ago, went on the street and had women touch his crotch. But he goes on TV and says, oh, Republicans are racist, sexist, homophobes. They need to be canceled. Dude, if you're going to say people need to be canceled for being racist and sexist, and you're for the Me Too movement, you literally had women touch your junk on live television, and you wore blackface. It's like these people are hypocrites. But unlike religions where you can ask for forgiveness, unlike religions where you can find redemption, in the woke religion, if you make a mistake, you're out. You are castigated. You are totally thrown away from the party. If you dare have a different opinion, you're thrown away from the party. It's a cancer. Only a small amount of people believe it. I personally know people who are liberal, but they hate social justice. They hate cancel culture. They hate all of it. They don't think everything's racist or sexist. They just happen to disagree, which is their God-given right. It's only a small minority like the Westboro Baptist Church. They are the loudest. They are the most obnoxious. And if you argue with them, see, I can argue with somebody and say, we disagree, but I think you genuinely believe what you believe because you have a different opinion. Liberals think, oh, you're a terrible person. You're racist, sexist, homophobic. If you disagree with me, it's not, oh, you just have a different conclusion based on the information that you've researched. No, you're a terrible person because you don't have the same opinion as me. To summarize it all, every single person who walked the earth, the majority to this day and the past, are racist, sexist, homophobic. Every institution is racist, sexist, homophobic. But yet you yourself are virtuous. What you're fighting for is the right thing. Anyone who does not agree with you, they're racist, sexist, homophobic. Either they are outright, or they are unwittingly dupes who are going along with racism, sexism because they're too stupid to be as enlightened as you are. If somebody makes a mistake, it is recorded on a phone and then put on live TV or social media, they need to be canceled. But it's okay if you say something in your own private time. You can say the N-word. You can say jokes about gay people. You can say all these things. That's perfectly okay. But if somebody else does it, they have to be canceled. They can't be forgiven. They've got to be canceled. They've got to be destroyed economically, financially, and in every other way possible. This is what they believe. And then they also believe that big corporations like Kellogg's, who literally got in trouble for slave labor. Same thing with Apple. They literally have people that work in these factories for pennies a day with slave nets. that they care about the gays, they care about the blacks, they care about women's rights. You're really going to tell me that? You're really going to be that stupid to believe these large multinational corporations give a damn about gay people? You've really got to be delusional to think this way. Not saying if you're liberal, you're delusional. That's your own opinion. But if you're totally woke to the point where everything you post is what the mainstream media says, what Hollywood says, what celebrities say, then you got to be a pretty delusional person.